is so toxic. How do you love/accept yourself? What do you think about YAGP and other ballet competitions? You are secretly super smart and could have attended Harvard if you wanted to. How do you stay focused on proper nutrition even if people comment negatively on your body? You have kissed a fellow male dancer. Hi guys, and welcome to today's video. I did a poll on my Instagram the other day, so if you don't follow me there, go follow me so you can be a part of videos like these. I definitely want to do more just like fun, chatty videos because obviously I have my what I eat in a days and my daily vlogs, but I feel like this is kind of fun. Keeping it that foodie ballerina style. I'm also going to be cooking myself dinner. I'm gonna be making some sweet potato gnocchi because my friend was talking about making gnocchi the other day. I haven't been able to stop thinking about it ever since, so I figured why not bring you guys along. So I'm gonna start cutting this up and then pop it in the pot to boil until fork tender. And as I chop this up, let's answer our first question. What's it gonna be? I hope it's a good one to start off. Tips for cutting out refined sugar. Usually I'm a big proponent of the rule that like all foods fit. But if you guys have been following along my what I eat in a days, you know that I started a 75 hard journey at the beginning of 2025. I'm actually almost done with it, and my roommate and I chose to do it together, and we both cut out refined sugar. Set yourself up for success by prepping a lot of alternative sweet treats ahead of time, and maybe instead of cutting it out all at once, go slow, where instead of having a refined sugary treat every single night, you opt for a maple syrup sweetened treat 2 out of the 3 nights that you have dessert. Go slow because that's what's gonna be the most sustainable in the long run. Do you make enough money in the second company or do you need a second job? If anybody out there is familiar with the dance industry, you probably know that we don't get paid very much. I definitely don't make a livable wage in the second company position that I hold. I don't have a second job, so that's why I'm so serious about social media these days, is because I really want social media to be not just like a little side hustle, but to actually be something that I can live off of. I mentioned that I did UGC a few videos back, and I've gotten a lot of comments and DMs about it, but I kind of want to focus more on like the influencer side of things because I think there's a lot more potential for me to grow personally. When I was doing UGC, I was making enough money per month to support myself. Obviously, my parents are gracious and they do help me whenever I need it, so I'm very grateful for that. Yeah, it's really hard to survive in this ballet world if you don't have parents that are well off or willing to help support you. How do you stay so positive? Obviously, the way I portray myself online is very positive and very bubbly and very confident, and I try to be that way in my everyday life as well, but I'm human and I obviously have my bad days. Coming to this second company position, I really struggled staying positive, and I was really down on myself for the beginning 3 months of the season probably. And it just got to a point where my mom was telling me every single day, you just have to figure out a way to work through this. Your negativity is detrimental to your progress. And so I started to learn ways like noting the things that I was grateful for every single morning, or just trying to find things I actually loved about my dancing. And the little things started to add up, and it's really helped my mindset. So just when you put your energy towards the positive things, the negative things just sort of fade into the background, and it does take time to like make your mindset shifts, and obviously you'll still have bad days, but it's just really rewiring the way that you think. But keep in mind that I'm not always this positive, and there's nights where I cry myself to sleep just because this industry is really difficult. What do you do for extreme muscle aches? This one's kind of hard because I don't actually have like any professional education in like personal training or nutrition. I am working towards my nutrition degree, but it's gonna take many years. So I'm not like an educator in this sense, and I don't have proper scientific advice to give you, but I can tell you what worked for me. I deal with a lot of muscle aches because I work out really hard at the gym and I cross train and I weight lift. So obviously there's days when my muscles just hurt so bad. Making sure you get enough protein, drinking honestly an excessive amount of water, replenishing yourself with electrolytes, warm baths. I always try to roll out and stretch. I mean, these seem kind of obvious, but it's like it's the little habits. It's gonna make a difference. Maybe eat a banana. Natalie says eat a banana. When did you start dance? I started dance when I was 6 years old, but I will say the training I got, it wasn't even training. It was like twirling around in little costumes. So when I was 11, I went to City Ballet of San Francisco, and they were like strict Vaganova Russian training. I spent all of my training years there. The more I rehearse / dance, the stiffer I feel myself getting. Any tips? I think that if you're getting stiffer when you dance, it probably means A, you're not warming up properly, and 2, you're not cooling down properly. And I fall victim to this as well because
Isn't it magnificent?
it's magnificent. Pause this video to celebrate the most beautiful sourdough that Natalie just made.
This is only my second loaf of sourdough that I've ever baked. I mean, I made one gluten-free one, but it doesn't count.
But that one doesn't count because it was a brick. But
yeah, it was literally a brick.
She's been on her sourdough grind. Oh my God, this is beautiful. I told her she's gonna surpass me because gluten is just so much better.
You guys aren't ready.
Oh, it's a reveal. Oh my God. That's
You're
gorgeous.
kidding me.
That's beautiful. So I fall victim to this as well because I get lazy sometimes, but making sure you roll out and stretch really thoroughly after like a tough workout or a tough rehearsal is probably gonna make you feel a lot less stiff the next day. And then warming up is key. And I was talking about this with my friends at ballet today, because there are people that just like go into ballet class with zero warm up, zero stretching, and they're just like, yeah, class will warm me up. And I will never be one of those people. I need my stretching, rolling out, strengthening, like I need all my little segments. If you're feeling stiff before, during, or after you dance, it probably means you're not warming up properly. This person just said Greek yogurt is so sour. I think that's funny. I honestly love the taste of plain Greek yogurt, but I think I'm pretty alone in that. So mixing like honey, cinnamon, frozen fruit, like that'll just make it taste so good. It literally tastes like a dessert and it's ice cream. And for that person that asked about cutting out refined sugar, that's an excellent little sweet treat. What is your favorite food? Sourdough. Sourdough and Japanese sweet potatoes, just because that's all I can think of right now. I love chicken thighs, like marinated chicken thighs is so good, and I always do it with like a nice little saucy preparation. I actually had that for lunch today, which is probably why I'm thinking of it now. Ballet is so toxic. Yes. Do you want to speak on this? I grew up in a very healthy ballet environment, so I never really realized how toxic it was, but I think it's more toxic than we give it credit for, and in like ways that we don't really think.
Well, honestly, I feel like we are in a very positive environment.
Right.
Like even
but it's
here
like,
in Orlando, it's not that bad.
No.
Like the dancers are all really strong.
Mm-hmm. Not like super like
ill.
Looking. Yeah.
But like
beyond the body image.
Beyond
like
the
how
pay.
Treated, yeah.
The pay. There's like not a lot of respect for the dancers versus like you go to Europe, you're treated like a superstar.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And then here it's like, you know, they pay you $100 a week and expect you to like work your butt off.
Yeah. I feel like when people say the ballet world is so toxic, it's just like body image and like fat shaming and stuff. And that's all true. And like, I'm realizing just how toxic the ballet world can be. But beyond that, it goes so beyond the dancers and like the exploitation of the dancers, especially like when you're in this crucial time of like traineeships and second companies and you just need a job. So you'll take literally anything and they can just use you to no end. Took a quick pause in the video to go drop Natalie off. She's going out tonight, so I was dropping her off at our friend's house. Potatoes are boiled and cooled, and so now I'm just gonna smash them. So I'm gonna add a generous amount of salt, half a cup of flour, and because I'm gluten-free, I'm gonna use gluten-free flour, but feel free to use any flour you like. What's your favorite thing to eat on toast, sweet or savory? Cottage cheese toast with blueberries, honey, and cinnamon, or banana, honey, and cinnamon. And then for savory, we're gonna go with chicken avocado salad or avocado with a poached egg. My hands are officially way too dirty to use my computer. How do you love / accept yourself? I don't know how many of you guys are here from my like learning to love my body video, but that one got a decent amount of reach on my channel. I have like a very long history of disordered eating and dieting and just feeling really bad about myself in general, hating the way I looked, thinking that my body was gonna be the reason that I couldn't be a professional ballerina. So anybody out there that feels like that, you're not alone, and I totally have been there, and it's the worst. Like, that's the most hated part of my ballet journey, you know, for good reason. After going through just horrible restriction and calorie counting and probably what was an eating disorder, even though I wasn't really diagnosed, Like after going through all that and recovering and still hating myself, I knew that I had to be healthy. Like I knew I couldn't keep restricting, and I knew I couldn't keep just like putting my body through such like physical stress that was gonna make me sick eventually. Loving myself doesn't come with losing the weight, so how else do I do it, right? And I started to just appreciate what made me different. And that's gonna sound really cliche, and I'm so sorry for that, but it's true, because I'm at a point now where I know that I can't be any other dancer besides myself. And so really fully embodying that in every single ballet class I take and every single audition I go to has given me an amazing sense of self-worth. And I genuinely do love who I am now, because I know that trying to be anybody else doesn't really work. It doesn't work at all. It's only gonna make you unhappy, and it's gonna just set you far back. So this is like a little bit sticky, but it's not sticking to my hands as much, and I think I can go ahead and start making my little gnocchi pillows. This question says, how much time do you spend prepping/cooking each week? And honestly, it depends. Like depending on the week, depending on the night, and obviously tonight I'm spending hours, but I don't usually do that. So cute! And when it comes to meal prepping, the easiest way to meal prep is just to make a lot more volume of what you're already making. So if we know that we're gonna be busy for the next few days, we'll just make a bunch of chicken or whatever, like for dinner one night, and then we eat the leftovers throughout the week. You don't have to spend more than 20 minutes on each meal and still eat really healthy, beautiful, colorful, delicious food. Do you have any professional ballerina friends that started at 13 years old? The benefit to starting later, obviously there's a lot of challenges, but the benefit is that you're at a lower risk for burnout, because some of these like child prodigies, YAGP winners, like you just get burnt out, especially if you're just pushed so hard from such a young age. And so if you're starting at 13, you know, you're missing kind of all that like craziness in your early years. That's just like my hot take, honestly. My studio that I trained at in San Francisco, City Ballet, had kind of a famous dancer come out of it. Her name's Rio Anderson, and she like famously turned down Harvard to go to the Royal Ballet School, but she started ballet when she was 16, I think. And so that's really late, and she's just like an incredible talent. But if you want to be a professional ballerina, the only thing between you and being that professional ballerina is you. So if you like make up your mind, it's going to happen. It's honestly that easy. Like you're gonna have to work hard. You're gonna have to work harder than everybody else, but it's totally possible. Okay, I think I'm gonna cook this first batch. This is what we've got so far. And I'm gonna just cook them over there on the stove so I can keep rolling here. My computer is taking such a beating from this cook with me because it has flour and sweet potato caked on it now. Not a question, but I just discovered your account and love it. Your vlogs are so cute. Oh my gosh, these are just, you guys are full of so much love. Like, I don't know what I did to deserve you guys, but I'm so grateful for every single one of you. And especially because I'm a small creator and it's like less credible to follow a small content creator, I feel like. I appreciate you guys, each and every one. Everyone that subscribes, everyone that follows me on TikTok or Instagram, like, you guys mean the world to me and I can't even put it into words. How tall are you? Does it affect your dancing? Love your channel. I am 5'5". I'm pretty sure I'm actually 5'4" with a lot of change. I think 5'5" is a pretty average ballet dancer height. My roommate Natalie is 5'8" and she's a bit taller. Some companies are really specific on like their heights. Like Ballet West is quintessentially known as like the tall company and all their dancers are pretty tall. Orlando Ballet is a really short company because a lot of their dancers are shorter than me. I don't know, it only affects my dancing in a way like certain companies have certain height requirements, but I think 5'5" is just sort of like in the middle. Favorite variation that I've done? Ooh, this is a hard one. I really liked this variation that I did one year for Paquita, but it's the little like sparkling fairy one, and I did it for YAGP, and then I did it for my audition video that year. Oh my god, I'm not a singer. Done. Okay, we're getting close to the cook time, and then once they cook, it's like 30 seconds, and I'm just gonna toss it in the pesto and eat it in my bowl. And then I'll keep answering questions because I have a lot more. What do you think about YAGP and other ballet competitions? I was never like a comp kid at all, and I honestly love competition dancers because I think they like really train the tricks And that's something that like ballet companies kind of like sometimes. But talk about toxic, because I have a friend here in the second company and she grew up in like the comp world, like from the time she was very little. And she's the most beautiful dancer ever, but the stories she tells me are just like horrible. And I'm so glad I wasn't exposed to that at like such a young age. Just like the body shaming, the crazy parents, like the dance moms are real. Like I didn't even know that until I came here, and it was a rude awakening for me. I am not really a tricky dancer, so they were very stressful and horrible for me, and I only competed 3 years. My area of strength was definitely contemporary. So I think they're fun for dancers that excel in those tricky areas or even like amazing artistry, but it's not always the greatest picture of like the whole dancer, you know, because it's a very narrow look and you're just like fully compared to like everybody else. And every dancer is unique. So I don't know. That's my thoughts. What company are you in, and have you found that to be a healthy environment? Yes, and you heard Natalie say it earlier when she was talking about how toxic the ballet world was. I'm in the second company at Orlando Ballet, and I do think it's a really healthy environment. Obviously, every company has its things, but in terms of like bodies and accepting just like a lot of diverse looks, like every single person in the company is so strong, fit, beautiful, and super thin. Like, let's be real. But they clearly don't have like an emphasis on like the emaciated, super like ill looking ballerina. And I really like that. I'm gonna put these in the pot. I'm gonna slather these gnocchi babies in pesto. This protein, I mean, this dinner has like maybe 8 grams of protein. But you know what? Life's all about balance. Oh my God. They're perfect. I can't even lie to you. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. The gnocchi has been made. It's about to be so good. I made 2 more meals just by spending a little extra time and effort tonight. And my week is gonna be better for it. Obviously, I'm gonna keep answering questions as I eat, but I gotta take my freaking thumbnail. There's gotta be something in there. Insane, you guys. I didn't think it was gonna be this good. You have kissed a fellow male dancer. No, I have not, and I never will. I have a long distance boyfriend that does not do ballet, and I've been with him for a little over a year now, and just dating a ballerina was never something I was passionate about. But I know people who love it. To answer your question, never have, never will kiss a male dancer. How do you stay focused on proper nutrition even if people comment negatively on your body? This is a hard one. You can choose how to receive it. And I know that's like really hard, because when somebody says something negative about you, immediately you get offended because they're attacking your person. But you can choose to feel really down and be like, oh my gosh, okay, they think I'm not fit. I'm going to restrict my calories. I'm going to be unhealthy. I'm going to risk my proper health, right? So if somebody were to say that to me, I would be very saddened, and I would probably have to do a lot of self-reflecting in order to not go down a really dark and disordered path, because that's just who we are as dancers. We're perfectionists. We want to please people. But the trade-off for trying to look a certain way is not worth it to me. Like, if somebody says something bad, I can return it to them, expel that negativity, and I can just say to myself, I've been down that path of restriction. It really didn't work for me. And so I need to just be happy with the way I look, because this is the way I am in order to be healthy. And for me, like, health is the most important thing. And it used to not be like that, which is crazy. All I need is to be skinny. My health, I can take care of it later when I'm done being a ballerina. And the truth is, you can't. Like, that's gonna catch up with you sooner or later. And the two things are not separate. Your health comes first. And so if somebody says something negative, you can just remind yourself that you're doing it for your health. And in order to have a long career, because isn't that what you want? This is similar to another question I answered, but this person said, what does your 75 hard no sugar entail? Basically no refined sugars. I can eat maple syrup and honey, fruit sugars, obviously. As a silent follower, I love your account. Any tips for running shoes? Honestly, I don't really run. I'm much more of a walker. I don't really have any recommendations. I love my New Balances and my Nikes, but I don't think either of those are like specific running shoes. So definitely look onto Run Talk. because they'll have more helpful tips for you. Favorite costume? I honestly loved the flower costumes for Orlando Ballet. My costume was a little ill-fitting, but I think they were so pretty, and we got to wear bare legs and pancake shoes, and if it had fit right, it would have been very snatching. Favorite ballet step? Ooh, easy. Attitude or arabesque, without a doubt. I also love Grand Allegro, but that's not really a ballet step. Least favorite is anything pirouetting. Did you have your own experience with body image in the dance world? Yes, and I'm gonna link the video that I made about that because I think it's going to do a much better job explaining than I can right now. But go watch it. It tells my full story and how I got to like the place that I am mentally and physically today. Okay, I think we're getting to the end, guys, and it's so late. It's literally 9:20 p.m. I need to go to bed, but I do have the day off tomorrow, so it's fine. Somebody asked me if I'm celiac or I just like to eat gluten-free. I'm not celiac, but I am very gluten sensitive. When I eat like enough gluten, it just really starts to have a negative effect on me, and I get stomach issues, I get headaches, I honestly get kind of migraines, and I can just tell that my body is really inflamed. And it's not like a diagnosed celiac situation, which I'm really grateful for because it allows me to eat gluten and experiment with it when I'm feeling my most healthy self. Okay, this person said, do you think second company trainee positions are worth it? They're very exploitative in a lot of ways. But you can't really become a professional ballerina without going through a second company or trainee position. And so, yes, they're worth it because you don't really have a choice. This person said, I think you smell amazing, not in a weird way. Thank you. You are secretly super smart and could have attended Harvard if you wanted to. No, I definitely could not have. I like to think of myself as fairly intelligent, but I don't think I'm Harvard smart. I am in online school as a nutrition and dietetics major. So that's fun and exciting, and there's like a little bit of science and critical thinking involved with it, but no, not Harvard smart, unfortunately. It is probably hard for you to live as a ballerina defending intuitive eating and fooling yourself properly. I love this one. This is just like an opinion or assumption. And yes, it is really hard, but I'm really firm in my beliefs now, and I'm so confident that the way I eat and nourish and train is just, it's what my body is meant, it's how my body is meant to be treated. I don't have crazy cravings. I rarely overeat. I don't restrict myself. I'm just in a very harmonious relationship with my body right now. Like when those negative thoughts creep in, you should be skinnier, I can just say, that's not what my body's meant to look like. I'm meant to be a strong and powerful dancer. And if my body reflects that physically, then that's just how it's meant to be. And I'd rather be healthy than sick. Thank you guys so much for watching. I had a lot of fun today. I hope that this video makes some sort of coherent sense when I edit it because I was crazy cooking. I was driving my friend to her friend's house. There was a lot going on, but I hope you enjoyed. And as always, make sure to like, comment, subscribe if you're not. And I love you guys so much. I'll see you in the next video. And if you want more talking, non-vlog form videos, do let me know down below because at this point I'm just experimenting and I'll do anything you guys ask. So let me know.